ยักษ์
ไม่ใช่มนุษย์ด้วยยักษ์ด้วยมีเขี้ยว
คือว่าหน้าตัวยักษ์อ่ะดูตรงนี้เฮ้ย
โอ้ยขี้พันเดี๋ยวตายเดี๋ยวโดนน้ำเบ็ดเนี่ย
All right, guys, what's going on out there? It's Doc Jones trying to hold it down, guys. Thank you for holding on. We're gonna have a quick. We're gonna have some details. I'm gonna bring up some details on the video that you saw before I popped up. So again, guys, they're saying it's December 16th and a 2000 and some tyranny kind of 20 years. So yeah, some tyranny kind of 20 years is what we got going on. So again, guys, we're going to examine a little bit of details here. And I'm just going to get right into it. We've got some issues that have occurred way back. But these issues are going to arise again, as in the days of Noah. But now we're going to have the same issues again. I'll go into more detail later. But first, we got to go in and take a look here. We got to take a look here, guys. Really quick. Really quick here. Now it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born of them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. Okay. Most of us don't get to that point or close, but generally average at this point in time, usually no one lives over 120 years. We'll continue. There were, here we go. There were giants on the earth in those days. And also afterward, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men, who were of old, men of renown. Continuing. Quickly continuing. Now here's some interesting numerology to take a look at, but we'll continue here. That was Genesis 6, verses 1 through 4. Continuing into Numbers chapter 13. Remember what happens in Revelation chapter 13? Well, anyway, Numbers 13. Numbers chapter 13, verse, we'll start with 32 and finish with verse 33. And they gave the children of Israel a bad report of the land which they had spied out, saying, the land through which we have gone as spies is a land that devours its inhabitants. The land through which we have gone as spies is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people whom we saw in it are men of great stature. Interesting. Continuing and finishing with verse 33. There we saw the giants. Yeah, that's what it said. The descendants of Anak. Anunnaki? Interesting. Let me continuing going back really fast, really quick here. There we saw the giants, the descendants of Anak, came from the giants. Anunnaki. Interesting. And were like grasshoppers in our own sight, and so we were in their sight. Continuing. Almost about to finish up. Thank you for holding on, guys. When these things were done, the leaders came to me saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the peoples of the lands. With respect to the abominations of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, Ammonites, Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. Interesting. Nephilim, giants, Anunnaki. Interesting. Continuing. For they have taken some of their daughters as wives for themselves and their sons, so that the holy seed is mixed with the peoples of those lands. Indeed, the hand of the leaders and rulers has been foremost in this trespass. Continuing. Giants in the land, before and after the flood. Finishing up, where am I at here? Oh, Matthew. Oh, guys, that was my last word spoken from Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1 and 2, talking about the Canaanites, Jebusites, Perizzites, Moabites, the Egyptians, the Amorites, all of that. That's from Ezra, chapter 9, 1 and 2. Finishing up, quickly. Matthew, chapter 23, verse 33. And finish with the verse 34. Serpents, brood of vipers, reptilians. Interesting. How can you escape the condemnations of hell? Therefore, indeed, I send you prophets, wise men, and scribes. Some of them you will kill and crucify. Martyrdom? Interesting. And some of them you will scourge in your synagogues and persecute from city to city. This Doc Jones. This from the scriptures. We could continue in the book of Enoch and move forward as well. But just alone here, this evidence of these Nephilim giants, these serpents, vipers, he calls them, these Pharisees, some of these bloodlines being intermixed. Doesn't sound like our Creator is very pleased. So this is Doc Jones. I'll come back at you because I've got some information on Damascus. It's not looking good. I'll come back at you. Love to all of you. I'll be back.